Alright, good evening everyone. I am Dean and I'm going to be your caster for tonight's matchups. We're going to have 3 best of 3s coming your way. And of course we are starting it off with ATK taking on Complexity here in the lower bracket semi-final. So this is an elimination match. The loser it is going to be gone from the qualifier. They won't have a chance anymore of making it to ESL 1 Cologne. As of course there is only one spot on the line for this North American region. Starting it off, ATK actually getting a lot of utility into play. Looks like they do want to try and go for a little bit of a quick approach straight towards that A bomb site. You can see the smokes going through. One in towards Sandwich, I believe. A flash now going over, allowing for them to quickly come out of A main and also Pop Dog. And we see the CTs actually just falling back off. They're looking to just try and set up for a little bit of a retake, but it's not working too well. Sonic, Fady, and Black Poison all finding frags as they open up the bomb site. Def on a flank that is currently being watched by JT. I feel like he goes down very quickly. Indeed he does, with that Glock up close, a little bit too much for him to handle. And although Ricky gets one more, or gets one rather, a single frag for the Complexity side, he will quickly be traded by Sonic. So 1-0, ATK coming in and taking a very convincing opening pistol round here in this best of 3. And while we have the chance, of course, we can go ahead and talk about how the VO went down. We had ATK removing Nuke, Complexity getting rid of Dust 2. So apologies if my dog's a little bit loud in the background there. Yeah, ATK then coming in with the pick of Train. So this is their map choice. Complexity then picking Mirage, and if needed, Inferno left over as the decider. What's up, everyone? Ooh, a little bit of a greeting being given over from Ricky as he holds down that B-bomb site. Strong indeed initially. Quick double kill on the 5-7 before being dropped. Issue is quickly traded back, and with that the frags beginning to go in favor of the T side. They have the rifles, long range over the pistols. It's a pretty easy time for them as they do manage to recover what was looking like a little bit of a shaky start there. Going straight out B up against the pistols, not really knowing what you're up against exactly, certainly can be dangerous. Time's ticking away, but now the frags are actually being found by Complexity. JT, half HP left on the bomb site, and he gets dropped immediately as he swings out. How the hell did ATK let that round go? A little bit awkward indeed. The player trying to peek up through lower ramp, just kind of gifting his back to the player on the scout. I believe it was, yeah, it was Def, I believe, at that point, back over towards Connector. But how the hell do they let that one slip away? The 3-on-2, the plant down, favored weapons. Didn't even really manage to find any more damage onto those 2 remaining players. Quickly cleaned up. Complexity coming through with a force buy that's successful. And now it's ATK with a force buy of their own. 2 AKs, 3 Deagles. I mean, it could certainly be worse. But it could also be a lot better. Let's see how it's going to go. If they don't end up winning this one, then they're looking at an eco. That'll be Complexity probably taking a 3-1 lead. Oh, but this aggression towards Ivy could be dangerous for Stanislaw. There's 3 players on the other side right now. He does begin to fall back off, but he comes through. He has the help of a teammate at least. They will actually quickly find a double frag, as Def was able to get in a bit of damage in the meantime as well. Sick does get dropped though, so that gives a little bit of ground now for Fady. He's creeped up close and Sandwich. And over towards Ivy. Black Poison finally deals with the threat of Stanislaw. This is looking like it's falling apart right now for Complexity. The force buy potentially being returned by ATK. The bomb going to be grabbed rather and brought over towards that A bomb site. And I don't know if Ricky even really wants to bother going for this rather. I feel like a save probably worthwhile just to give the M4 at least to work with in the next round. It probably will be Complexity just returning with a force buy. Hello, Scoop the Sauce. Thank you, bro. Yeah, we had a lot of games like this last night, especially the ones that ATK were in, and also Ghost. Ghost were the ones who were great at picking up the force buys. ATK, on the other hand, I've seen them struggle a little bit more. I don't think I've seen them win a single pistol without dropping the round immediately afterwards to a force buy. So yeah, that certainly could be an issue, but they've returned it. Let's see if they can keep it up now. Are they going to end up getting returned on by another force buy? Is this going to be back and forth continuously, or can ATK grab themselves a bit of control? ATK will lose the Complexity if they keep losing rounds after pistols. Yeah, I agree. I do think that certainly would be the case. They ended up losing the Ghost because of that, of course, so it has been a little bit of an issue for them trying to actually capitalize and manage to convert on those pistol rounds and turn it into the lead that they should be fine, then it hasn't really been the case. But as we said, they returned a force buy of their own, and we actually don't see Complexity coming in with a force buy back. That's actually quite surprising, because they're not going to be able to buy in this next round either way. But they do still have the M4 in the hands of Ricky, so maybe he can get a little bit done. Does actually open it up onto Dumpster, but again, with the rest of his teammates not really having much weaponry to work with, and with that smoke going down, he's taken out of action a little bit. Sick able to find one. Stanislaw gets dropped in the meantime, but again, that M4 actually still in the hands of Ricky on 100 HP. Sick running with the P250, takes off the head of Black Poison, and Sonic's in a bit of trouble right now. He's taking damage, he eventually gets that frag, but it's a 2-on-2. This is a lot closer than ATK would have been hoping for. They're up against pretty much a full eco. Def just kind of chilling on the bomb site right now. If he finds the fight against Sonic, he has a good chance, but issue is he doesn't really find a fight against anyone. He ends up getting flanked by Fady, who does indeed take him down. So Ricky, last man standing, chilling in the back lines right now. They do know his position, but he at least has the M4, so maybe there's a bit of hope. No matter what, they didn't fully invest into this round, so I think that they can be pretty happy with the damage that's being done. But he wants to get the win. He wants to try and return this round. Fady, though, I was gonna say had the Crosshair trained on the position. He ends up shifting his attention over to Ivy, but does at least ensure that he's not open to the old bomb train anymore. So Ricky at this point, I don't know, unless he gets a frag really quickly, then there's not much hope, because he doesn't have a defuse kit. Who do I think will take the spot for the for ESL in Cologne? I'm actually not 100% sure. I feel like Complexity probably have one of the better opportunities. Complexity, maybe Furia. If Ince didn't have a stand-in, I'd say they'd have a good chance as well. I mean, Ghosts have been pretty solid too. They looked a little bit shaky yesterday, but again, they were losing pistols and all. That was kind of their main issue. Very efficient with the force buys they were. I mean, there's kind of 4 teams, as I just said right there, that I think really do have the opportunity. I mean, I feel like ATK could, but they do have a lot to kind of iron out before they're ready for an event such as ESL 1 Cologne. Of course, having some changes recently enough, being a little bit, I guess, kind of not stable, swapping around orgs a lot, etc. So I feel like they definitely used to have a lot of room for improvement. Shazam getting flashed up through the B halls, ends up dropping Dumpster. Should be able to find that Krieg. He does indeed. A quick headshot to drop JT as well. Just about gets out of that Molotov before he burns alive. A 5-on-3. This is a good start for Complexity on another full eco round. Black Poison gets one. Stanislaw returns it quickly. But it's Black Poison again to step up. He was one of the more impactful players yesterday, I would say, for ATK. And this is actually really winnable right now. Black Poison, though, has a good angle. I was going to say to hold down Pop Dog. Checks a main and shuts down Shazam. That's the low HP player finished off. Ricky, though, able to quickly trade. And that leaves just Sonic now on the back lines. He has the op, but the bomb isn't planted for him. And Ricky actually has a defuse kit. So if he just sticks this right now, there's nothing that can be done. This is going to be a round for Complexity. Sonic is slowly creeping forward, but easy peasy for Ricky. That's really all you can say. Sonic needs to stay alive and save the op, which he will be able to do. So he can drop over a couple of rifles. I think they probably will buy up, since Black Poison can also buy for himself. But as you can see, a pause coming through. They are going to be discussing what just went wrong. And that was quite a lot. They lost against the Eco. Certainly not ideal. We've said they've struggled up against the weaker buys, and again, they've showcased that. There we go, the pause has been removed. Getting back into the action, as you would expect. The force buy comes through for ATK. Full utility onto pretty much all the players, actually. They have a pretty solid buy in terms of that. There was another AK actually on the ground as well for Fady. So, yeah, I mean, this is actually a really solid investment. The only weakness is JT on the CZ. Well, let's see, because they are, of course, up against the full buy from Complexity as well, who do once again look to get aggressive. Stanislaw going straight down through Ivy. Even with the flash, it was easy for Fady. He just turned away, looked back and took a headshot. Man advantage in favour of the South African side right now to actually kick this round off, and it's very early on as well, rather. As they look to just get some control up in the B halls. Also, Defto getting aggressive. He wants to try and trade this towards Ivy, and he could catch Fady off guard. He does indeed, as the Molotov gets thrown out. chooses the timing perfectly. You can see though that was just an attempt at a little bit of a fake because it's the push towards B with the bomb in the possession of JT as it now goes down. Sonic was able to jump into the angle, drop Ricky, and or Ricky rather, but at this point I don't know. I feel like Complexity again, they probably just want to back away and save. With these 3 weapons in play, with Sick having 1,650, he can drop over a rifle. Well, actually, I think they're only getting 1,400, so that's not necessarily true. I actually don't think he will be able to drop over a rifle, unfortunately. We'll have to see in a minute. It depends if he only gets the 1,400 or not. Because in that case, he would be $50 short, which would be a bit unfortunate. Live stream viewers. Yeah, as that guy said, I can't say his name. Most people are watching Blast at the moment, I do believe. But yeah, ATK again, when they're up against the full buy, that's when they find success. They're able to return it, go ahead and continue on with the lead, stop Complexity from equalizing it, and putting them in a pretty tough position. I mean, the buy isn't bad for the CT side by any means, but if they lose this one, then they're looking at an eco. That's ATK then likely taking a 62 lead here on the T side. So if we do see the South Africans taking this round, they're putting themselves in a great position to build up a strong T side here on Train, as you would be hoping for, especially since it is their map choice. Over the server box, Fady able to quickly drop Stanislaw. This is actually going to prompt a quick execute, or a quick push rather, towards this A bomb site. JT gets one, there's a player up close and Sandwich that gets caught off guard. Unfortunate timing for Shazam. There's still one more behind that green train, but there's so much pressure on the shoulders of Def right now. He gets the first, but he's trapped in. There's so many players that have their attention focused on him. And as he steps out, unfortunately, it's Black Poison to quickly take the headshot. A 4v1, this should be a round now for ATK. As Ricky's just chilling in connector with that MP9, hoping that a couple frags will be gifted to him. And there we go, he actually just get the first on the Black Poison. Forgot to slur in Britain. Well, I'm actually not from Britain, but yeah, it's still kind of a bad word here in Ireland as well, so I wasn't going to say it on a stream. Yeah, Ricky in the end is actually at least going to be able to save that MP9. Unfortunately, he's not able to upgrade to a rifle. But it gives them at least something to work with in this round right now. You can imagine that they will just go ahead and take the eco, buy up in the follow, and finally get a full buyout again. But it's looking like a 6-2 lead quickly right now for ATK. Looking like they might again just want to go for a quick play towards A. I mean, it's been working for them, and when they know they're up against a weaker buy, why not? They're favored in most of the fights then with the rifles. And through the smoke there, Shazam actually takes a tiny bit of damage, but being held off now by the Molotov. The smoke's of course stopping them as well from being able to really see anything. The bomb with that should be planted, and it's 5 players in connector. Fady spams right now. He could have a nice little frag count lead for himself. He ends up actually getting one. Dumpster gets a couple as well. Sick, able to get one frag just before he goes down. But it is now 6-2 for ATK. As I said, they've already got a pretty decent T-side built up. Even with the bit of loss bonus that they've been building up, it's not too great because they were trading back and forth. So Shazam, although he gets the up out with his glass cannon, certainly not ideal. Let's see, wise also not amazing. The fact that they don't have a defuse kit could cost them if it comes down to a retake. So I mean, there is a couple of issues with this buy for sure. Nice nade from Sick, that should do some decent damage. Actually does nothing. What the hell? I mean, okay, whatever. If I was standing that close to a nade, I would be probably drop to at least 70 HP. a very slow round so far coming through from the D side. Similar to what we've seen in that previous one, I suppose. Just kind of, oh, not the previous one. The previous full gun round that they actually were in. They were playing a little bit slower. We've seen them kind of pressure towards Ivy. And it looks like they're going to do so once again. A split out towards A, though. Going to be pretty quick indeed. Oh, Fady spots the player at E-box and does some damage. Actually flicks over then to take the head of Stanislaw. A couple trades being returned. A 3-on-3 now in play as we do actually see Complexity begin to pull it in their favor. They drop it to just Black Poison that remains. And I don't think he's going to expect Riki to have transitioned to Ivy already. Gets his head taken off by that AUG at long range. And with that, it is now a third for Complexity being found. Can they keep it up though? Because of course, ATK haven't won a few rounds in a row. They built up enough money to reinvest. They've got a gun round in play still. And I mean, they've still got a bit of money in the reserve as well. It wouldn't really give them enough for the full buy, unfortunately. They'll get $1,900 in the next round, so they'd be a little bit low unless they get the bomb plant. But they are, of course, going to be focusing on just trying to return it quickly. Take this gun round in their favor. That's their goal. Keep grinding out these rounds on the D side. As again, they just they go with that standard default. Not really going to be switching things up. Not trying to get too aggressive like they were in those previous rounds either. But as I say, that JT trying to take a little bit of a gander out of Pop Dog ends up paying the price. The ultimate price, indeed. It's his life. And it gives over an AK as well, so that's a nice little upgrade for death. Certainly better for the UMP. Especially out on that, then the UMP rather, especially out on that A-bomb side. But again, flashed into A main. There was 3 players in that position, so ends up going down after only 1. Sick trying to take a peek as well. This just isn't needed. They were already in a 5 versus 4. I mean, if they had just kept the man advantage, if they had then kept the 4v3 once they got the trade in A main, I don't know why Sick is trying to take another peek, and that's just risky. But will it cost them the round or not? That's the question. Stanislaw gets 1, so they will at least reclaim the man advantage. An easy kill, catches that bomb off guard. Second potentially to be found. Black Poison already low. And indeed, finished off. A nice little op upgraded as well. Ricky probably going to carry that on as the secondary upper. Or, I don't know, maybe give it to someone else. Let's see. It's looking like he will actually throw it over. No, gives an M4. He is indeed going to keep it for himself, as you would expect. Shazam on the main one. And Complexity beginning to get a bit of momentum now. As I said, if they didn't get a bomb plant at least, the buy would be a little bit more limited for ATK, but they still pull out a pretty decent investment. 3 AKs and a couple of Galils. And this is where we're expecting to kind of take the pace back up and their quick play perhaps to come through over towards that A-bomb site, it looks to be. We've seen them do this before. The smoke's going straight through. They do tend to wait a little while. I don't think this time they really have too much of an option with the Molotovs going down. A good bit of damage being found as well towards A main. Sick up close. He's able to actually drop 1. A second as well being found. As he traded it back onto JT and took Black Poison in the meantime as well. Apologies again about the dog barking because the door did knock. Oh, and Sick is just continuing the frag. He's looking for the ace right now. Dumpster, the last man standing in Sandwich, yet to be spotted. There is actually a smoke down, I believe. That flashing through. Oh, Sick has been actually heard jumping in towards A main. I don't think he's going to expect Dumpster now. Does indeed end up going down, but I mean, 4 kills and dropping Dumpster to low HP as well. I was going to say should be enough for him to win the round. But he's putting up a pretty decent fight for this one at the moment. Dumpster's just chilling at the moment in towards Olaf. Waiting and hoping, I guess, that a peek's going to come through from Ricky. Knowing that he's really low HP, he can't really be trying to force the fight himself. Oh, I was going to say he might be spotted right there, but now he will be. The op posted up on the angle. Has a very easy time. Up against 4 HP, the op shot would have taken him down no matter what, but just to be extra sure, Ricky takes the headshot. And with that, ATK actually finally put down onto an eco. I mean, at this point they've built up loss bonus, of course, so I mean they can at least bring out pistols and Kevlar. They already have 6 rounds on the D side as well. I mean, that's a pretty good position also to be in, but they do want to try and find a little bit more, you'd say, especially considering how strong it started off for them. Shazam and Ricky locking down B. Ricky takes himself a quick double after the double up from Shazam to start the round off, and now it's only JT who remains. He doesn't have too much hope, but he does end up getting one kill. That gives him an AUG to work with. Maybe he can find one or two more frags. Of course, the economy is still quite low for Complexity. They haven't built up any money at all, so every weapon that goes down could be of massive impact, but it's only going to be the one in the end. Def puts a stop to it. On the buy now for ATK. As I said, 6 already a decent half, although they probably do want more considering they started off so well. So let's see if they're going to be able to find a bit more. Even if they just bring it up to 7, I mean, that's still a pretty comfortable T-set to have. Even if you lose the pistol, then you're still in a decent position. Get that decent first buyout, try and get on the board then. Let's see. Aggression in towards A main does actually manage to find a lot of map control for the CT side to work with. Lets him take a little bit of a gamble. You can see now rotating Shazam back over towards B. He can just spot Heaven with the up or even just spot the lower ramp, depending on what Ricky's watching. I think he is actually focused towards upper, if I can tell correctly. No, actually on default watching lower. So yeah, the up trained on the upper position. Right now though, it is of course looking to be more of an A hit eventually coming in. Oh, Dumpsters, the smoke fades away, catches Def completely off guard. And that's a 5-on-4. You can see 3 players grouped up on Ivy though. That's where the brunt of the force is going to be coming from for this T side. Although looking to try and creep back towards B with a couple of players. Ricky puts a stop to that. Sonic though quickly comes in with a frag. The action right now is completely non-stop. Although they do end up slowing down a little bit at this point. Dumpster though, I feel like he's just going to give away his life and allow for Complexity to fight back into this round. I mean, it may have sold a little bit of a fake, but the issue is they've already made plenty of noise on A. The push coming through, I was going to say from Sick, could put a stop to that bomb plant, but Fade Eater to protect it. Make sure that that's not the case. A 2-on-3 now. Complexity with a very difficult retake to try and make this one happen. And yeah, just backing away to save. I agree with that decision. Their money not amazing. Of course, they've won quite a few rounds in a row, so I don't think they're going to have any boosted loss bonus. So this is actually a big issue for Complexity. I've seen people talk about this, how you get punished kind of for making the comeback happen after a slow start. You can see only getting $1,400 after losing the one round. I mean, they should certainly be kind of punished for some of those previous rounds being quite close, but I don't think it should be to that extent. Buy comes through as you would expect, but this is a good opportunity. If ATK take this round, then Complexity getting $1,900 in the next will be left with an extremely weak buy, and that would actually put ATK in a great position to take a 9-6 lead at half time. Defto on the UMP up close to E-Box. He's going to be the man that's going to have to look to try and hold this one down as the A push is coming through. Takes the wide swing and gets the first, and with the help of his teammates, the A bomb site is being held perfectly. For some reason, Def not known close up the E-Box for that second frag. Sonic then shifted his attention with the up, but it didn't matter because the AK had been retrieved, and Def then just finishes it off with a quick hat trick. 7-7. Complexity, they make that weaker investment work, and with that now looking to try and take the lead at half time, and because of that, ATK, they've called in a pause. I mean, they can pull out a buy. They're going to have to with it being the final round at a half, but it's probably just going to be the 3 AKs, maybe a couple of Galils if they wanted to get utility out onto those players, but I'd imagine it's more likely for Black Poison and Fady to pick up the utility to allow for the AKs to come into play, and that is the case. Here we go, we're getting back into it now. The final round of the half. Who's going to take a lead at the half time? It's not a massive one, but it's always nice. Def's knife is named UKCS. Double up setup still in play as well for Complexity. Looks like ATK are actually changing this up. I don't think we've really seen them in quite a while actually go over towards B at the beginning of the round. They've been more so just being defaulting with a couple players maybe showing some aggression. This time though, most of their presence going to be on this side of the map, including the bomb. Molotov getting dropped when Stanislaw takes a bit of contact as he was just shoulder peeking the ramp. The nade going over could do some decent damage. Does actually drop the JT slightly down. But it's the ops right now that are actually getting all of the work done. Stanislaw then over on B as well, able to find a couple of frags, and suddenly Black Poison all alone. No success at all found on this push for ATK. Black Poison left in a 1v5 to pull off the ace clutch. I don't think it's going to happen, especially as he peeks into the Oppa Shazam. That is indeed Complexity taking themselves a small lead heading into the second half. Again, though, ATK are going to be really happy with it at half win. 7 rounds, certainly something to be happy with instead of trying. Coming into the second one now, even if they lose the pistol, they're still in a decent position. But if they get that pistol, then I feel like they're actually in a really good spot to just go ahead and run away with the CT side. Because, I mean, a little bit shaky at points there on the T side, but they looked good overall. And with this being their map choice, I'm expecting a good bit from them now once they swap over to the defense. Here we go. We're getting into it. Ricky and Stanislaw picking up utility. A couple of smokes, 3 flashes. A decoy for Stanislaw. Not really too impactful. Ricky actually gets a P250 for himself. It's just JT then for the CTs to get a kit and a smoke. Actually up towards B already. We find some action. Def charging forward alongside Sick, who was just behind them. Wasn't even needed, of course, because Def just found a quick headshot on their way towards Heaven. And with that now, a man advantage found very early on for Complexity to work with. Looks like they're falling back off. It didn't seem like B was going to be their target at all. It was just kind of showing a little bit of presence. As now they group back up, and with the bomb outside of A main, you'd imagine that it's going to be a split on towards this A bomb site. And if they go for that soon, the setup actually for that CT side, they have actually shifted a bit of their focus over towards B. The smoke and the flash going down sells the fake even a little bit more, maybe. Although we don't see an extra player rotating over, we do see Black Poison getting a little bit closer on B to try and hold it down. But there we go. Sonic gets one over towards Ivy. Has been traded back now, 4-on-4. Shazam with the dink at least doing some damage, gives the help over to Sick, gets up close on the Glock, and this is getting difficult for ATK. They're just being torn apart at this point. The final player in the form of JT was already dinked up on the bomb site. 9-7 for Complexity. They extend the lead to start off the second half. Force buy going to come through from ATK. Couple scouts, couple deagles, and a 5-7. I mean, why not? Let's do it. It was working for Ghost yesterday. They were able to pull off this force buy multiple times against ATK with pretty much these exact same weaponry. Let's see if they can manage to do it towards Complexity now. They did, of course, win that first pistol round before losing the force buy up against against Complexity, rather. Pulled it back then with a force buy of their own. This time, they need to make that force buy happen. If they don't allow for Complexity to take a pretty quick 11-7 lead. Honestly, I feel like, I mean, no. I was going to say I feel like I would have preferred them to have gone for the eco and bought in the next round, but even if they'd done that, the buy in the next round, sure they would have got the rifles out. They wouldn't have got an op though, most likely, unless it was glass cannon. They wouldn't have got a lot of utility. If they wanted to get the fuse kits, they'd have to sacrifice the utility even more. Maybe some weaker weapons would have come out. So, I mean, going for the force buy here, even if it doesn't work, then they eco the next one. Then going into that 4th round of the half, they work with a really strong buy. Yeah, 4v5 right now. They've got a bit of damage at least connected, so there's still a chance for them to get something done in this round. If not win it, then at least try and drop a couple of those weapons, a few of those weapons ideally out of the hands of Complexity. Just force a bit of reinvestment so that they can't build up too much money to start off on the T side. Here we go, pushing forward on A. They're actually going to find an open bomb site. A little bit of a stack, a gamble from ATK. You like to see it. Unfortunately, it is a gamble. It doesn't always work out. A nice shot though from Black Poison. Catches Def jumping up on top of the bomb site. I don't think it's really going to affect the outcome of the round too much though, because ATK, I don't think they want to try and actually go for the retake. Yeah, and there we go. Looks like all 4 weapons that he should be saved over for that CT side. That's a good recovery. Although they are going to be eco again the next round, that gives them all that weaponry to work with. Gives a good opportunity for the damage at least to come true. I mean, 1 kill in this round isn't too bad considering they didn't lose their weapons either. Let's see. Can they manage to get in a bit of extra damage now in this round? Their default just coming through from Complexity. A couple players pressuring towards Ivy. A couple of them getting the control up in the B halls. Pretty much just standard stuff. Again, apologies for the dog. Whenever anyone knocks on the door or anything, she gets a little bit wild. She's very friendly. She just she likes meeting people. Excites very, very easily. But yeah, opening frag being found by Ricky anyway. We do manage to take down Black Poison. He had, I believe, just a Deagle. Didn't have Kevlar or anything, so it wasn't easy enough frag. Nice shot by JT through the box right there, but unfortunately that's what he's limited to before eventually going down. Sonic, though, with a scout of his own, gets one in as well. But again, it is returned, so efficient trading at least coming through from Complexity. Leaves Dumpster in the 1v3. But I mean, a bit of damage at least. That's not too bad of a find. About the 999 rounds, guys, it's not actually. It is a normal game of CS. It's just whatever way the ESL servers show the rounds. I don't know. I feel like people should probably know that by this point. It's fairly common. Yeah, if we see Complexity actually picking up the win here on Train as well, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle then heading on over towards Mirage, which is the map choice of Complexity, of course, and with that is a very strong map for them. I mean, we've seen ATK play it a little bit. I believe we even seen them play it yesterday, and they did actually pick up a win 16-4 against Ints. I think that was actually the last match we seen last night, so a good showing from them. But Complexity, I'd say, are a little bit of a different beast in comparison to Ints in general, and also because, of course, Ints, unfortunately, were playing with a stand-in. They had Ye instead of Cello, I believe, so it will certainly be a little bit more difficult in this matchup right now. As I said, Complexity, probably one of my favorite teams to actually go through. ATK, they've showed a lot, as I said, though, or they've shown a lot, rather, as I said, though. I feel like they still have a lot of room to improve with their newest addition to the roster, etc. Def off the spawn towards a main. Flash goes over, Fady, trying to make his way up close to Pop Dog, ends up getting shot and taken down by that op. And with that now, they've actually given up Ivy for the moment. The op is going to go ahead and try and peek back into it, but it's dangerous. Ricky, I was going to say, should find that frag, ends up getting a little bit of a whiff spray through, gets a bit of damage at least off the back of it, and then a nade as well to follow it up. You kind of want to hear the dog, but you can't. You couldn't hear her? If you can't, then that's good. Someone said a goodbye. It's a good girl. How dare you? Do not presume my dog's gender. JK. Yeah, she's a little bit of a weirdo dog. We call her Wednesday after Wednesday Addams. From the Addams family, of course. But yeah, man advantage into this round again, of course. It was found very early on for Complexity. Someone said yay over Cello. I mean, maybe, but you do have to remember as well that, of course, he doesn't speak Portuguese. While the rest of the team were speaking Portuguese as their comms. I'm sure they swapped the English with him playing, but still not ideal. Black Poison, though, able to trade one back. Returned on, though, as a little bit of a gap in the smoke gives the opportunity to Shazam. And now it's the man advantage again in favor of Complexity. Working their way over towards this A-bomb site very quickly. Still a couple of players, though, in position, and already, actually, the rotation haven't come true. There's a pretty solid setup for the CT side. But Ricky with a quick headshot drops Sonic. Dumpster, though, on the bomb site, able to drop Sick, and I believe now the bomb as well as Shazam tries to get the trade. It's all on Ricky. He's coming in to try and get the first. Needs to be cautious, though, at Pop Dog as the flash comes out. He does get one, but he needs to spin around quickly. And unfortunately, Crosshair not in the right position. An 8th round being put on the board for ATK. They get that opening gun round, but it's a costly one for them. The positive is the money for Complexity actually isn't amazing. Yeah, 3 FAMASs in this round for ATK. As I said, surviving with 1 player, certainly not the best position. Complexity, though, they have the 1 Galil. They don't have the most amazing buys either. Most amazing utility, rather, in terms of the buy, so it certainly will be still a close round. ATK though, they need to pick it up. If they don't, they're in a tough position. Complexity then, again, looking at taking a free round, as it probably have to go for ATK. At that point then 13-8 being the likely lead that they'll be sitting with. So, I mean, certainly going to be difficult. Let's see though. Oh, Sonic. Okay, he opens it up. He finds that opening frag on Ricky. Just as the smoke faded away on Ivy. Dumpster towards Beto under a bit of pressure now. Calls for the rotation and falls back off to play passive. And it works out perfectly because he had the assistance, of course, of the player up on top of the site. I believe it was Black Poison. Fady down on the flank finishes off Stanislaw. And that's a really strong hold. ATK able to keep 4 alive in that one. Now it's Complexity who are facing an eco. That means we should see ATK reaching double digits. Full eco pretty much. There's one P250 for Shazam, but that is it. He's actually creeped out into Ivy out into Olaf already, rather. It's Ivy where there's a few players trying to creep forward. They're actually making a lot of noise in the process and had the bomb in their possession. The hope was potentially just to overwhelm a player. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out, and with one frag being found from Shazam, rather, he does eventually fall. Def low HP. He's really going to get much done. He was actually close to getting the frag on JT, but in the end, it goes down to the upper Black Poison. 10-11, 1 round now in the difference. It's a buy again from Complexity, but it's not amazing. They're not going to have the op in the hands of Shazam this time. They're not going to have all that much utility. I mean, it's decent. They have the smokes at least and flashes and some Molotovs, so they do at least have the opportunity to go for any executes that they may have prepared. But let's see. ATK right now, if they take this one, they're looking to try and get themselves back in the lead. Ence is blown out Navi. Unfortunately not looking at the game at the moment, but oh yeah, damn, 14-3 they're up right now. That is pretty one-sided indeed. Nice frag being found right there by Ricky as he goes ahead and drops Fady as he comes out through a main. That's a man advantage in play for Complexity right now with the 4v3. Dumpster getting that nade in, could connect some decent damage, and yeah, actually does on the 3 players. That's very effective. That weakens them up now and gives them a much better opportunity on the retake. Because of course now the bomb has gone down. Molotov going to be thrown into a similar position. Not really going to do too much right now. Will stop anyone from being able to stand close on the default spot, watching Connector push out, but there wasn't anyways. Of course not known. Stanislaw gets one. They line up for Sonic. Oh, this could get dangerous right now. E-Box and Brown train out of positions of these players. They can try and play time on the bomb. A double peek comes through. Sick has been spotted. Dumpster's going to just try and push him down. And he gets the headshot. Does a defuse kit, but even then it wasn't needed. But I mean, play it safe. Dumpster going to hop on it. Defuse easily coming through, and the scoreline with that equalized. A spectacular retake from the South African side. With the bomb plant coming through, I mean, Complexity can buy if they want, but it's not going to be great if they go for it. They'll have very little utility unless they sacrifice down to some weaker weapons on a couple players. Pistols, maybe Kevlar a little bit more likely. Shazam gets an AK, but everyone else doesn't. That's interesting from Shazam though, because you'd expect him to want to bring out the op in the next round. So I mean, he could be dropped it, but then that'll put someone else without a weapon. So it's a little bit awkward. I mean, I believe they have full loss bonus coming into the next round anyway, so I guess if he wanted, he could get an AK and body armor probably to go with an op that gets dropped to him, so I don't think it'll be too bad. Oh, here we go. Good damage already being put in over towards B. Maybe able to find one on towards Dev. Oh, mows them down with the AUG. 3 quick frags being found, and Dumpster takes a double for himself as well. 12-11. ATK go ahead and reclaim the lead. It's been a while. And a pause being called true. You'd imagine this is Complexity right now. It is indeed. I just double checked. Understandably, they are going to be trying to find out what they can do right now to start putting some more rounds on the board, because as they come back onto the gun round in this one, if they end up actually losing it, then ATK at that point in a great position to just go ahead and close out Train. They'll be looking at a 14-11 lead before the guns are back in play again for Complexity. But this is a bit of a change. A double up setup going to be coming out from them on the T side. Let's see how this is going to go. It's not even onto Shazam. I mean, maybe that's because of the spawns, but Ricky and Def are both capable oppers, so let's see. Def can go peek A main if he wants. Could maybe go try and drop down Pop Dog. With the spawn, though, I'd say A main probably a little bit more likely, and indeed that does seem to be the case. Let's see if it's going to work out. Flash going over. It's 4 ops on the server right now. Oh, and the damage, I was going to say, should be put into Def. There was a molly that dropped right under his feet, but he doesn't take any at all. It's Ricky instead who goes down. Dropped over towards Ivy as the aggression is too much from the handle. The wall bang from Sonic. Goodbye, Def. It's a 5-on-3. This is looking like ATK have really stepped it up on the CT side, and I mean that's certainly the case if that's what it looks to be. They've gone ahead and brought this back. What I believe now, 5 rounds in a row, looking for a 6th one. As this has just unraveled very quickly for Complexity. They want to try and bring it towards B. Sick actually already creeping forward, I believe. Does have a bit of control. Pushed out towards the grey train, but all 3 players in position, rather. I don't think they know Sick is out, but they should find out relatively soon. And as long as they at least trade him, then I don't think it'll cause too much of an issue. Oh yeah, there we go. Actually gets spotted. Sick, he had an opportunity. Unfortunately, Dumpster on top of the grey train is going to be able to put a stop to it. All on Stanislaw and Shazam now. Looks like they want to try and just come together out of upper. Problem is, a couple of players already have their attention focused on it. Black Poison alongside JT. (13 to 11). As I said, with that round going in favor of ATK, Complexity again, just looking at an eco, meaning we should see the scoreline being taken up to 14 to 11. From that point then, Complexity are going to have to pick up 5 in a row on the T side if they want to take the win in regulation. Yeah, that was see the chat going mad about that wall bang. That was pretty crazy from Sonic. It was certainly one way to take a nice advantage. They already had one. Putting it even further in their favour though. Never going to be a complaint. Oh, the spam should come through. An easy lineup for Dumpster. That puts a stop to the bomb plant. Already a 2-man advantage. Some damage being put through on towards Sick, who does get 1 frag, but eventually will indeed be dropped, leaving it all on Ricky. 1-on-3. And he gets dropped by the op in the hands of Sonic. 14 to 11. ATK right now looking good indeed. They built up a pretty decent economy as well. I mean, a bit of reinvestment has to come into this round right now, but they still have enough in the reserve for at least a couple of buys. This is potentially a last-ditch effort right now for Complexity. I mean, with the full loss bonus, if they lose this one, they could still get a buyout as long as they have the bomb plant. I mean, Stanislaw and Sick could be able to buy either way. On the other hand, though, the other players will be a little bit low unless they get a couple frags and ideally a bomb plant. So let's see how it goes now. This round has to be won by Complexity if they want to keep themselves in with a chance to win it in regulation. Otherwise, the best they'll be able to do is overtime. There we go. That's one way to start it off. Stanislaw catching the aggression on upper. The Molotov then from Sick, finishing off the tagged up player. A man advantage being found. That's probably not the smoke that Ricky was aiming for, but I mean, it will work. He's able to clear up close, make sure there's no one aggressive against the server. Oh, and Dumpster, he's holding this angle, but still gets taken down. A nice shot by Sick. Sonic returns 1, but he's trying to come in now from that A-bomb site, as is Fady. He's the first one to get out of connector, and Shazam chimes in with the AWP. You see Sonic kind of back away. I mean, they have a good bit of money, so if they want, they could go for this. But are they? Oh, with that frag being found, maybe. Sonic actually finds the aggression from Sick in the spawn. Issue is, JT is miles away right now. I think he just got out of A main, yeah, making his way up into the halls. I mean, if they can get 1 or 2 more exit frags, that's worthwhile. I don't think they're trying to win the round anymore, though. It is 2 rounds now in the difference. Complexity though gonna have to drop over a couple of weapons. It's probably not gonna leave them with very much money in the bank. Fortunately, they will still have the majority of their loss bonus, so I don't think they'd be in too much of a troublesome position to buy up again, at least onto most of the players. So They do have a little bit of security, but it's not ideal. They need to win this one. They need to win another gun round then as well. At that point, they'll be 14-14, and that's when they're looking to have a bit of an easier time. They'd probably be going up against an eco, so let's see how it goes. Complexity, can they replicate that performance from the previous round? Nade towards A main doesn't really do any substantial damage. Where actually we do see the majority of the forces for Complexity. They have 3 players just grouped up in A main right now. Indicates we probably will see an A bomb site hit eventually, especially as Stanislaus above Pop Dog. Shazam then outside of A main. They set up a little bit of a push. Smoke towards Ivy, smoke towards Connector, I believe. Flash is going over, and the push indeed going to come through now. Let's see, can ATK hold this one down? Stanislaus already opens it up. Traded back by JT and Black Poison, though. It's crumbling for Complexity right now. ATK looking for map point to start this one off. Are they going to be able to find it is the question. Stanislaus returns one, but he will again be dropped once again. It's been a tough one. Just continuous trades favouring this CT side in this round right now. It leaves Death, and as he goes up the ladder, he's going to be an easy victim to the upper Black Poison. 15-12. Map point for ATK. A pause comes through from Complexity now. They're going to buy up. Of course, they have enough money to get a pretty decent investment, but they need 3 in a row to send it to OT. Not gonna have. Oh, they do actually have an op. Never mind. I was gonna say I don't think they're gonna have one. It is just on the ground. Shazam gonna be able to pick that one up. It's a full buy pretty much for Complexity. I mean, they could have a bit more utility, but it's a pretty solid investment. But again, as I said, now they need to take 3 rounds in a row, and again, they're not gonna have an easy time doing so. Even if they win this one, then they're up against at least 1 more gun round in the next one. So let's see how it's gonna go for them. A lot of players just making their way straight up into the B halls, actually. Looks like they might be changing it up, trying to go for a bit of a quicker B play in this round. A little bit of presence being shown towards A in the beginning, as they normally do, and creeping towards that ramp over towards B, rather. They're actually making a little bit of noise at this point, though, so not really trying to be quiet. They are definitely just pressuring a scene if they can maybe find an opening frag. Sick just runs out upper, and Dumpster had no idea. He goes down immediately. Black Poison is at least going to trade on the up, but now it's a 4 versus 4. The main thing being that ATK have lost control of that bomb site, but a nice flank from JT. Trades onto Shazam. Needs to be careful, though, as Ricky, with a flank of his own straight up through Pop Dog, I feel like is going to have a pretty easy time returning this when it's being watched. So JT had to read, but sadly not able to win out the fight. Def should have a free kill on Sonic at this point as well. And this round is pretty much over and done with. Indeed it is. Def takes the 2 remaining headshots. 2 in the difference now. It's going to be another buy from ATK, as I said, but if Complexity take this one, then going into the final round, then well, the final round of regulation anyway, then it could be a bit of a weaker buy for the CT side. Does everyone not realize that ATK were the bravado roster? I see a lot of people asking who are they, etc. Oh, that Molotov. Not burning Sick right now. Will eventually spread to him, so he has to put down the smoke. JT, though, gets a double entry in A main. Sick trades back 1, but I mean, man advantage for ATK. They're going to be happy with that. Sick actually took a lot of damage from the Molotov as well. Fady gets a little bit anxious there. Shoots at the body, thinking it was a player. It wasn't, of course. Fady, though, creeping forward. Doesn't want to do this because he could end up giving away a frag. It's been held right now by Stanislaus. The execute towards A is indeed going to be coming through. He hasn't been spotted as of yet, but the Molotov going to be dropped in anyway. It's the up now posted up. This is going to be dangerous. Sonic actually connects the shot first, but it is returned onto Fady. Third person, not how we want to watch this fight right now. Oh, Director, get away from us, please. Og in the hands of Fady up close. This is a perfect position. They have no idea. Able to quickly put a stop to Stanislaus. That scares away the bomb planter. Sick dropped to low HP. Gets 1. But I don't know what his chances are right now because Sonic on the up is still alive and making it happen. All onto Ricky. Can he get anything done at all is the question. I feel like Dumpster's just going to peek out and finish him off. He's already low HP. Giving a little bit of a chance though, creeping forward. The Crosshair trained on this position. That should be the end of it. And there it is. ATK, they pick up the victory here on map number 1.